Hey everyone. Okay, so we're in the office container thing. I don't think I've ever posted about this. I should make a series about this. I'm in my break room office type thing that I made a few years ago next to my shop. So, I had an idea. I thought this would be a fun, quick video for somebody out there who knows that these things exist but doesn't really know how they work, kind of thing. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm working on. CNC plasma cutter. I got a 5x10 CNC plasma cutter. Mine's made by, the table itself was made by Northern, and then the software is FlashCut, which is FabCut out of Kingston, Ontario, Canada. It's like a retrofit that has like new stuff. So CNC plasma cutters are, I don't know how old, but you can buy them from the 90s, probably even the 80s, with manual controllers or really rudimentary computer stuff on them, and then you can get them retrofitted or retrofit them yourself. So mine's retrofitted, and yeah, so we'll start by the file. I'm not going to show you guys the drawing portion of things because I feel like that's all of its own thing, but you can start with basic DXF files. Plasma cutters run on, CNC machines run on lots of different types of files. I'll show you guys something here. So you can go online and buy DXF files, or you can get them for free a lot of the time, as long as they're not proprietary, like if they're common things. So I went on Etsy and bought a couple of DXF files that I thought were pretty cool. My computer is just loading here. I don't want to do that. Stop, please. Thank you. All right, cool. So I'm going to start with, what's going on there? How come that's all like that? Oh, I got like a crack in the front screen. Whoa. I don't know if you can see that or if I'm just crazy, but anyways, I'll flip you around. All right, here we go. So if you look here, I went on Etsy and downloaded some files. I'm sure there's probably private information in there. Let's get rid of this stuff. Okay. So I went on Etsy, bought some files, just for simple things. I'm trying to reduce the footprint of my shop down so that the plasma table takes up less room, kind of thing. I'm trying to go down to one toolbox instead of two toolboxes, and wall-mounted things seem to be a pretty good way to organize my stuff. So I went on Etsy and I purchased a couple of DXF files of nice-looking stuff that I could spend a couple hours designing, but they're like $3. So I'm probably just gonna spend the $3 because, you know, time is money and all that stuff. Anyways, so if I go back to, where did that go? Here we go. So we've got a screwdriver holder. I'm gonna try and eliminate my screwdriver drawer and put it all on the wall. That would be awesome for me. And then I'm gaining a whole nother drawer in my toolbox. And this one looked nice, kind of thing. I bought a few things from these guys. So the common files are DXF files, and then there's a few other PDF and SVG files. I think the PDF is just a picture. I don't think most CNCs, you could probably go off of a PDF with Inkscape or something. But anyways, DXF file is most of the things that your computer uses. I've also heard of step files, but 99% of the time when I'm talking to somebody about this kind of stuff, it's a DXF. So we'll start with that. So I'm going to take a thumb drive, and I'm going to plug in my thumb drive. I don't plug my CNC computer into the internet because it's an old Windows, and every time you do that, it seems to get way slower. They try to update it, they try to do this, they try to do that. It works perfectly as if it still thinks it's like 2012. And I'm just going to leave it like that. Have a good computer for the other stuff, drawing and all that kind of stuff. And then when I have my stuff, I take a thumb drive and I go into the shop and I cut that item. I've seen guys that'll attach like a Ethernet cord to transfer stuff back and forth. That's fine. I'm just not looking to connect that one to the internet because I feel like that's how they get you. They try and get you to, you get you know, viruses and stuff like that from the internet, and stuff gets slower from the internet, and then when the stuff tries to update and you don't have the hardware that you need, runs really crappy. It's the same thing with cell phones, everything else. They work great in the beginning and then they stop because the software gets upgraded. So anyways, so I'm gonna just try and take this file and drop it down here into our thumb drive. So it's called the Screwdriver Organizer Rack SR1. So we'll take that and we'll go out to the shop. Okay, so I got a bunch of stuff on the ground. I'm doing yellow sticker safety on my truck. For guys that are from the States, that's just like an annual safety that you have to do because it's a commercial vehicle and it's too heavy to fit on the mechanic's hoist. So I just take everything out of my back seats and pull my welder off and stuff. And I'm doing it tomorrow, so I don't want the stuff sitting outside overnight. So that's why that's there. So here's our table. This is the 5x10 CNC table. It's got a water bladder in the bottom of it, and this is called the gantry here. Here's a machine torch, Z-axis or Z-axis, whatever you want to call it. It's 2 motors inside of here, or one there, one there. That makes it move this way across this rail and a gear. This travels up and down through here, through a ball screw and a stepper motor. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more to it, but that's the basic idea. So we're over here, and all right, so we got our table turned on. So this is Flash Cut. This is their proprietary stuff. So you draw with this software. So we're just going to upload our file, open, import a DXF file, browse, go to our thumb drive. There's our thing. Loading for a second, and there you go. So you got all your bend lines and cuts and all kinds of stuff here. And so now we're doing the basically like the machine path. So we're gonna go with materials and mild steel. Thickness, we go to, I'm cutting this at a 14 gauge because that's what I got. So we'll go with 14 gauge. And there we go, 14 gauge. Good to go there. Then there is pretty much a whole file done here. I'm just seeing if there's anything else I can do to this. I'm probably just going to cut one of them, so I don't need to do any kind of sequence files and all that stuff. I'll cut one, see how it turns out before I start cutting a bunch of them. So yeah, go to the next one here. There you go, it's all loaded up. So it's loading on the bottom left side of the sheet. So I'm just going to move this piece of plate around. Okay, we're good. All right, so our tool path has been generated. Move this guy around so we can see what we're doing here. So I'm going to move this thing up and other way, over. Like so, and we're gonna toss the ground. This table's grounded too as well, but it's a nice little thing to have ground right here. So I'll show you a cool setting that this guy has. A reason why I bought this table. It's got a probing or sensing thing, so it'll set this thing doesn't know where stuff is. It's just like kind of feeling around in the dark. So you go like this. I don't know how much you could tell what happened there, but this went down and just touched this plate and came back up. It's grounding. Gotta move that. You need to be. That's better. You need to, it just gets continuity from there and finds out where the plate is. It also gives you a good idea that this is all grounded and that we're good there as well. But yeah, so it's set as Z height of, it knows it's a 1/4 inch off the material right now. So it's not gonna crash into it or anything like that. It just knows that, okay, I'm right around here. And then the little yellow guy right there is actually the machine. So if we set the X and Y axis to 0, now the little yellow guy is on the bottom left corner. So this computer is orientated so it's like this. So our machine is in the bottom left corner of the plate, and our machine is in the bottom left corner of the plate. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this. This is kind of dumb. Like, I kind of wish this was like on like wheels or something, but then there's, I don't know. There's room for improvement, but it's, you know, I didn't build this. Anyways, yeah, let's not complain about it. So I'm gonna do what's called a dry run next. Just gonna hit the dry run. I'm gonna turn the feed rate up, and I'm gonna let her go. So what it's doing right now is doing all the interior work. It does all like the little circles and cuts and stuff inside of there first, because it doesn't want to totally cut the shape out, because the plate then will move and it won't know where anything is anymore. So it's cutting very fast right now because I got it cranked up. But basically it gives you an idea that you know that you're in the right place here. Everything's functioning before you fire up the machine and potentially just waste this piece of plate for no reason. So I'm pretty confident about this. The other thing you can do too as well is you can move the piece up and show, okay, that's the very end of the part there. I still have steel there. And then like I go all the way out to this side. That's the end of my shelf bracket there. So I know it's not like a total waste if I go over to there. That should be right around the edge of the plate, and it's right at the edge of the plate. We still want a little bit of material left there so we're not like kind of wandering off the plate and like losing stuff. But yeah, you get the idea. So what I'll do is, I feel confident about this. All right, let's run it. All right, there's our finished part, or close to finish. So we got our piece that came out of here. We don't, I don't think we need that for the part. So fully cut it out. So I haven't looked at this other than a quick picture online, but I think I bend here, here, and here, and this. Yeah, I think this creates a C or something like that, and this one gets folded up so that, or it gets folded behind it maybe, so that you can screw it to the wall. I'm not really sure yet, but I know that these two have to end up on top of each other to hold the screwdrivers because they're parallel. So you go like this, and then I think this closes the box in. I think the reason that they put all these hardcore bends on this one is because it'd be hard to bend this with a brake press. The last piece you wouldn't be able to bend. So this I'll probably hit with a brake here and here. And then this part here will probably just stick in the vise or something and bend over. But yeah, I'll show you a finished piece here in a minute. I'm gonna cut a few more of these out, I think. Okay, we got the screwdriver holder thing done. Just wanted to show you what it looked like. Cut out 2 of them there. It's just like a little concrete anchor in there. You could put some more in, but I don't really want to load my wall up full of holes. But yeah, it saves me another drawer in the old toolbox. Since recording that last clip, I've moved the whole other toolbox out, and I can have this guy and this guy at the same time. I don't really love how tight this is. Probably gonna change that at some point. But yeah, and I did away with that stand thing. I'll just put it underneath there. But a friend of mine got me this really cool desk. So, and then all the flash cut stuff's there, and then the plasma cutter's down there. Just pop some holes and stuff for everything, and kind of organized up the wires and things, made it a little more nice. It's been a little while since I recorded that clip. That was actually been up there for a long time, but I wanted to clear up some room on the hard drive and use up some of the content. So yeah, overall great purchase, and highly would recommend, whatever you want to call it, to anybody interested in getting one. I know that there's a lot of different options, and it's confusing, and there's a lot of money to be spent, depending on what you buy and everything. But if you're motivated to use it, it will, if you buy it, they will come. It will make money. So yeah, I hope this video was entertaining, or you learned something, or I don't know, you just got something out of it. But yeah, I'd love it if you shot me a comment down below, told me what you think, what I can work on, what you thought. If you could subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. If you already have subscribed, I also really appreciate that. We are at, I think, 1,900 subscribers now, or something like that. One below 1,900, I think, last I checked. So that's pretty exciting. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Oh, and P.S. If you want the DXF file for that, LK Welding on Instagram, send me a message, and I'll shoot one over to you for free. I can make copies of them, obviously, and you guys don't have to pay for them if you don't want to. I think it was only like $4, but if you want a copy of that, I can send it to you. So yeah, LK Welding Instagram, or if you're not into Instagram, just comment your email below, and I'll send it over. Yeah, thanks guys.